have this group that says love is love and you can love whoever you can't help who you fall in love with. So it's okay for him to date and marry white women.
Yeah, but when he first won, he didn't win by, I don't think he won by a landslide when he first got in office. So the black vote would have been very essential for him to win. And I would like to say, even though obviously everyone wouldn't have felt that way, but I do think a good percentage of people would have been like, he married to that white woman. I ain't voting for that.
Absolutely.
So that may could have cost him the election.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Um, yeah, I agree with that, but I still think overwhelmingly that we would have voted for Obama. I think him having a black wife played a huge part in that. But I don't think a large portion of black people would have not voted for Obama if he had a white wife. I think some of us would have had an issue with that specifically, but I don't think that would have prevented him from being um, thank him being voted in. Are you done with that comment again, Jamie? I wanted to address another
Yeah,
part.
yeah. 'Cause I know you want to go to salty, right?
Absolutely. Would you pay for something your neighbor did? Okay, so a lot of people make this argument. They say, "Well, I've never had a slave. I've never benefited. I never did this and I never did that." The issue is that the government, that is a debt that the government owed, right? That's going to come out of your tax paying dollars, right? Just like everything else that the government uses the taxpayer dollars for. Everything else. They used it for illegal immigrants.
Well, for me with the reparations, you gotta think about it for this spotty dog. You gotta think about this. I mean salty spotty dog. Um they gave reparations to lots of other people here in America that were mistreated, and it didn't even happen in America. You got to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Jewish people do get money for the Holocaust here. There's a certain portion of the Asian community that receives reparations because of what happened to them, the Japanese. And then you have Armenians that actually receive funding for what happened to them, and that shit didn't even happen here. And yet, the most atrocious um, um, thing that has ever happened in humanity that did happen on American soil. You're telling me they don't owe them nothing, especially like if you would have been here when I shared that video of the white guy kind of breaking it down. Basically, they still sitting upon fat upon all. And then this is the craziest part. They gave somewhat reparations to the white slave owners who didn't have their slaves anymore, right? They gave them incentives for that. But the black people that they enslaved and abused and tore them down, they tell them, "Oh, you guys just figure it out." And then keep in mind, once we did figure it out and come up with things on our own, such as Black Wall Street, they tore that shit down. They keep doing this shit to keep us in a certain state of mind because in their mind, this is why Elon Musk recently said what he said, that if the black nation ever gets back to their position of power, that would be the end of us. So that's why they won't give it to us. But to say that we don't deserve it, saying your neighbor shouldn't, yeah, absolutely. The same reason why they give it to the other people that. And then this is the thing: the tax-paying dollars don't even have to be used to do it. A lot of people love to point out, "Oh, we don't want our tax-paying dollars to do it," but yet you're okay with them doing it for the immigrants. But
And
on top of that,
go ahead.
it
I'm
can be
sorry.
federal funded. They
It's
print money all the
it's
freaking time.
oh my God. Jamie, this is why black people are all on their own. We have no allies. We have no allies. This person is a Native American and sitting here arguing against us for our reparations for what America did to our ancestors, right? While the Native American tribes receive funding from America yearly, right?
Hey, this is
Right?
true.
But you're sitting here saying, why should I have to pay for what for what my neighbor did? We're literally having to pay for what America did to you guys. So you're sitting here as someone from a tribe of people who are getting federal funding from America for what America did to your people in the past. But you're sitting here telling black people, descendants of slavery, that they don't deserve reparations. So that's why I say, and then he comes with the white talking points. You know there were black slave owners as well, and you're right, ugly. You see that? That's why black people, y'all got it. We are all on our owns, right? You see that? I don't. I To me that is insane. Native but you guys were able to get funding from America from the atrocities that America did to your family.
He said that man a hypocrite.
Is that not insane? So you guys can receive funding for what America did to you guys, but absolutely not for the descendants of slavery, who arguably probably
I wish
contributed
Todd was in
more.
here for this. Damn, Todd, you should have
Arguably,
been here for this, boy.
arguably we created more wealth in America than you guys have contributed, right? Because we the ones built the country, right? Right now, I mean, we could just argue that. I have nothing against that. My issue is that your community and your ancestors are receiving reparations for what the government did to you guys, but then you're now telling black people, don't you reparations are a pipe dream, when somehow you guys were able to figure out how to get reparations from America. Black people, y'all hear that? We are all on our own. We cannot expect people from other races. The other Mike Lopez was in here earlier telling us that we don't need to advocate for ourselves. Let the Democrats spend their money on the immigrants. Don't advocate for yourself. Now we have a Native American in here who's receiving money from the government for what they did. And he's saying you guys don't deserve reparations. That I don't know if I don't know if I belong.
So hold on.
Look, he playing in our face. Y'all see how other he playing in our he said, yeah, we're rolling in funds. I mean, you guys do have, I know for a fact you guys have own a lot of tribes, or
Casinos
some tribes own casinos, and you guys
for
get
sure.
either quarterly payments or monthly payments from the government for how much money those casinos make. So you guys do have some type of, now I'm not saying all of you guys are rich, but you guys definitely have land. You guys
I
definitely
want
have
to address
businesses.
what's his bet. I don't know how to pronounce this really, but I'm gonna just say 2463. You say Africa Soul Child get reparations from the Democrats and Africa, and then make sure to pay some of your reparations to the white people whose family fought to free slavery and
Oh my
died.
god. Oh my god. That's so racist.
It's so much I can say about that. So first and foremost, I think that's a myth that they're saying white people fought for us. That's not what it was about. That's the bullshit they pushed to make it seem like you had a group of them that was totally against slavery, and that's the reason why they went to civil war. That's bullshit. It was deeper than that. It was about them losing their sovereign, being sovereign. That's what really the shit was fought for. And then um, on top of that, you're saying we should give them. They still enjoying benefits right now off our labor. We aren't. So they've been paid already. So that we shouldn't give them shit. We get our majority. Hey, I'm curious. What tribe are you, Salty Spotted dog? Just curious of that. We got a majority of money from donations by the casinos. The tribal leaders screw us like Democrats screw black people. That's sad to hear, but I mean, at least y'all are receiving it though, right?
No, don't change. Don't try to say we all getting screwed because we all are getting screwed. But claim to be at the bottom with us, and you're now advocating for us not to get any assistance from the government while you guys are collecting benefits from the government. You no different than the damn immigrant that was in here earlier. Like, why is it that people of other races have such an issue with black people getting any type of assistance while they're then receiving it? That's because black people are all on their own. And I wanted to address the other comment about Africa stole y'all. Okay, now there is a little truth to that. I do agree that Africa owe us internal in reparations, right? But it's not at the comparison that the American government owe us. And the other thing is that a lot of white people like to switch the blame to from white people for slavery. It's not white people's fault. It's the black people in Africa who sold you guys' fault. Um, I mean, I think that this is my honest belief. My honest belief is that in slavery in America isn't the first form of slavery. There was a form of slavery, and I'm sure that at some point there was some African participation in selling us into slavery. They wasn't selling other Africans; they were selling Jews. But anyway, you go back to that, right? They're now selling Africans, right? I don't believe that I think this is my honest opinion and maybe it's uneducated, but I think that the Africans who sold us, they believed that we were going to go through the same slavery that they participated in. They had no idea that America was going to bring us over to this country and be raping us, to hold us in captivity for 250 years, to be separating families, to be whipping us, to be killing us, to be doing all the atrocities that white America did to us, right? And only you guys look up any type of slavery in Africa is never going to be as brutal and cruelty. And the other thing about slavery in Africa is that I don't think that these people knew the concept of perpetual slavery, meaning that when you have kids, those kids are going to be enslaved. When you have kids, they don't. That's not the practice of slavery.